Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another versus topic video. People have requested more of these, so I figured a good place to start with a Walking Dead versus matchup. And I think this is a good one. This one makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and do the kids of The Walking Dead. We're going to compare The Walking Dead's main protagonist, teenager Carl Grimes, and the Walking Dead video game series main protagonist, and that is Clementine. Yeah, let's do it. Who's a better character and who would win death style matchup? Carl versus Clementine. Battle of the Seas. Right, so I felt like this one was a good one to go ahead and do, and I'm going to try and avoid spoilers for the Walking Dead video game series because I know a lot of people have not played it all the way through, and there is some major heavy-duty spoilerage if you want to get into the long-term storyline of that as we go through the different game releases, or episodes as they call them, through Season 1 and then, of course, into Season 2 with the first episode of Season 2 being released. In that series, basically, to sum it up for Clementine, Lee, the main protagonist, runs into her. He finds her. He basically is kind of confused as to what she's doing, what she's going to do. Basically, her parents are gone. They're not there to protect her, and it's full-on zombie apocalypse. So she is alone, completely alone in a zombie apocalypse, and she has no one. Whereas, of course, in the Walking Dead television series, Carl, when we first meet him and everything, he's with Lori, Shane, they've got the group, and then, of course, afterwards, he's with Rick. So he's always had someone there for the most part, and except for what's coming up right now in the TV series, which is where Rick is basically incapacitated after the fight with the governor, and Carl is going to have to defend Rick a bit and sort of try to, take care of himself, and also Rick, who's in a coma, basically, as a result of what's happened. So, he'll be totally on his own for a little while in the Walking Dead television series. We've already seen that happen in the comic book series, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that works in the TV show. But that said, in terms of which character has gone through worse, I would have to say that at least Carl still has Rick, right? In the TV series, he may still have Judith, although we're not sure how that's going to work out. But you feel like there are people there that care about him. Obviously, his dad does. Other members of the group really take good care of him and stuff like that. Clementine in the Walking Dead video game, she's kind of on her own, for the most part. I mean, there are people that help her, that take care of her. Lee does, and everything like that. But she never has her parents. And even though Lee can be a guardian for her and can take care of her and look after her, there still are parts where she's completely on her own when they get separated and things like that occur. She's on her own, a good portion of that. So definitely which one's been through more hardship? I'd have to say Clementine has been, which is something to consider when you're considering who would win in this kind of death style type matchup, and who's a more interesting character, I think. So she's a very interesting character. When we meet her, she is 8 years old at the very beginning of the video game series, and then up until current date, she progresses to 11 years old. Now, Carl is the opposite of that. In Season 1, the actor Chandler was 12 years old in age, and in Season 4, he's 14 or 15, very, very soon should be. I'm not sure when his birthday is, but, so there's a tremendous age difference between the two. So when we place this kind of a matchup, I would have to say maybe, but see, the thing is the zombie apocalypse is going to age them a lot. So let's go Clementine at her current date, where she's at right now in the Walking Dead video game series, and Carl at about season 3, beginning of Season 3 type deal, who would win in that type of circumstance. It's a tough one to call because they've both been through so much at that time. Carl, let's say we'll put this just after he's lost Lori and everything like that. His mom, and he's had to put her down. That's that's pretty brutal. Clementine, I wouldn't say ever had to do anything that brutal as putting down her own mom, but she did have to fend for herself and take care of herself, which I think definitely would make her mature a lot faster. Between the two, who would win? Let's see. If we give them each a gun, this type of thing, who would be a better survivor, who would win. It's a tough one to say, but for some reason, I'm going to go with Carl, I think. I do think so. Why? Well, we've seen him to be a very damn good shot, that's for sure. When he gets a gun, shooting Shane from a long distance, being cold enough to put down his own mom. If you can do that, when she's turning, you can put down anybody. That's not an issue. That's not a problem. Now, Clementine, she's hard too. She's hardened too. But, man, Carl is a badass little dude. That's all there is to it. He's a badass little dude. Now, I must admit, I haven't played the game all the way through every episode. So I haven't seen all the things Clementine has done and had to do to survive. So I am a little bit biased here. I will admit that. But I think I still have to go with Carl. Who's a more interesting character? I mean, they're both extremely interesting, I think, to see. Carl is very interesting, but he does have Rick. So I almost want to say that even though I think Carl would win in a versus type matchup, I think there's something really interesting about Clementine, the fact that she's still surviving when she has no one. That is a really, really interesting character right there. And I'm very excited to see in the next few years as they continue to do these releases of the video game episodes, what her story is going to end up being over the long term. I think it's very, very interesting and a very, very cool character, very interesting character. So those are pretty much my thoughts on who would win the versus matchup and which character I think is more interesting. I think I probably would say that I do like Carl better as a character better, but I can definitely see why people would be chomping at the bit to play the video game and find out what happens next in the story of Clementine as she struggles to survive at such a young age, basically on her own without any family. So let me know what you guys think about this versus matchup. If you think I call it wrong, write in the comments below. I'm sure there's lots of you guys out there that know a lot more about the video game than I do. So go ahead and plead your case if you think Clementine takes this and why. Go ahead and write in the comments below and defend your decision. If you think she would win against Carl, I personally just don't think she would. That's all there is to it. Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.